I will go through. Just trying to scooch through there.
No.
Sorry.
No.
Here we go.
Here we go. Is there? What is the news?
Oh, that's the microphone. Okay. Oh, I'm looking here. Garrett Grays and others are on their way back now. I think we've made some progress working down there. So that's very positive in the aspects, and we'll continue to work through to try to get a solution.
What kind of progress has there been?
I'll let them be able to talk to you. I talked to them on the phone a couple times during their discussions. Look, it all comes down to, you know why we're here. The Democrats in power spend too much money. We have our biggest debt ever. We have spent more money under the Democrat control than our expenditures in our 50-year history, just on our average of GDP, but we're spending more than we've ever spent. And all of this while we're bringing in more money than at any other time. This is the time that we should be paying off our debt instead of borrowing. And that's what we're trying to get, put us in a stronger position for the future. And listen, President Biden wants the authority to borrow more money. We have to get an agreement that's worthy of the American people. And that's what we're working on.
We've already blown through a couple of different deadlines for kind of when this needs to get done to get it passed. With the caveat that I know you don't control how the Senate acts. When do you think you have to have a deal and legislation to make sure we don't stumble into something on June 1st?
Look, as you know, I've been working on this for months beyond months with no deadline. I want to make sure we get the right agreement. I can see that we're working towards that, and as soon as we get that, we'll put it up, pass it, and send it to the
You
Senate.
don't think there's a hard deadline, given what you said about the 72-hour rule and all the other kind of hurdles you have to go through?
Look, I thought the deadline was quite some time ago, but the White House continued to not want to move about spending money. So,
Why are you saying that things are so productive today? Did the White House move closer to your position?
I think there are a couple issues that there's a number of issues that are out there that we've been working on. I think being able to find some ways that we could probably get to fruition on a couple of these. There's still a number of them out there, so I want to work as hard as we can and not stop. And look, I have nothing but the highest respect for the individuals from the White House in the room. They are the most professional, and the real challenge here is, why did it take so long to allow people to get into the room? Once people have been able to get into the room, we've been able to work through a number of items and challenges. These are highly intelligent, highly respected on both sides of the aisle. They know their work, they know their job, they know the numbers, but they're directed philosophically much different than others.
Are you closer to a framework?
Now, are they meeting again later tonight?
Yeah, I know Patrick McHenry stayed down there to work on one other issue with them for a while longer, but yes.
So are you going to meet with the president tomorrow potentially to continue?
I don't have a set time to meet with the president, no.
Are you closer?
What are you proposing on student loans?
Same thing that we have in our bill, like everything else.
Are you closer to a framework?
I'm sorry, what? I think the majority leader will make an announcement here during votes. I'll let him make that announcement.
Speaker McCarthy, are you closer to a framework at this point than you were a few days ago?
Hey, look, I think things progress forward, and that's always positive.
You said this week we need to have a deal this week in order to
Yes,
avoid default.
I still believe that, yeah. And I still believe we have time to make an agreement and get it done.
Are you confident that that will happen, Mr. Speaker?
Look, I'm confident at the end of the day that if you watched anything about my life, I never give up at anything. So we will get a deal when we have one worthy of the American public.
Mr. Speaker, Ron DeSantis announced that he's running for president today. You've worked for them. Do you think you'd be a good president?
Look, I think there's a lot of people that'll be good. I'm focused on a debt ceiling right now.
Mr. Speaker, you said that we have to spend less next year than we did the year before. Is that still the case after this meeting?
Why do you think I would change? When I say something, do you think I say it for any other reason?
So that's the red line.
Yeah. In the future, if I say something, I mean it. Okay? So from the very first time I met with the president on the debt ceiling, I told him two things. We'll not raise taxes, and he's asked for taxes every single day, and there will not be a tax increase in this bill, and we have to spend less than we spent last year.
So did the White House format Gates to refer to this as a hostage situation yesterday?
I didn't hear that.
I mean,
Yes.
you move closer all to things the White House has been asking for, whether it's a spending freeze,
The White House.
revenues. Have you gone closer to
There
all
we,
the
no, we're not,
concessions?
no, not raising any taxes. What the White House has asked us for is to raise the debt ceiling. And with every day, just like we already raised the debt ceiling and passed a bill for that, unfortunately, every Democrat voted against raising the debt ceiling. And the Democrats in the Senate did nothing about it. So Republicans continue to work to solve it.
Just one more question for me. But when you think about this, it seems like you're nearing a deal. When you think about,
Well, don't misread everything. Yeah.
Okay.
I just think things are better than they were yesterday.
how do you think about the vote? I mean, what's the threshold? What's the threshold internally?
You guys think it's when we come to an agreement, it will be a good agreement for the American public, and we'll get it passed.
Has the CBO started scoring parts of?
No,
anything
we're not there.
Mr. Speaker, you,
Still at the White House meeting with people right now?
Yeah, there's one other issue I wanted him to continue to work on.
What's the issue?
What issue?
It's an issue he's working on.
Mr. Speaker, you
Is it student
and
loans?
Work
Graves
requirements still
said
part
that-
of this discussion?
I'm sorry, what?
Work requirements still part of this discussion?
I've always said work requirements are part of it.
So they're
Is
not
that a
off the
red
table?
line for the White House, that work requirements?
Look, I know they have a position and I have a position. The one thing we all know is Senator Biden voted for him, President Clinton signed him into law, and they made America stronger because it put more people to work. It put more people paying into Social Security and Medicare. It gave more people an opportunity for the future, and I want to make America stronger.
Mr. Speaker, other than...
Graves has said that you feel like there were some constraints on the White House negotiators, that they had limitations on what they were able to negotiate with you guys. Do you feel like that has changed today?
I'll leave that up for them. They were in the room.
Negotiations continue this
evening?
Yeah, look, we are going to continue to negotiate until we come to an agreement. That's the responsibility. That's why I wanted to discuss with and have meetings with the president since February 1st.
You've spoken about some progress on permitting reform. Are there other elements of the energy package HR1 that you think are in play right now for the final
Look,
deal?
I'll wait until see where we end up at, and I'll let you know.
Do you need a CBO score before you guys vote? Is that part of what your
Look,
plan is?
think about it. We're talking about things that were in limit, save, grow, so we have a lot of scores there already, and as we work through it, we've had people look at different things, so we have a really good number, but I'll wait to see how many have it already, but I believe we can have a score beforehand.
Mr. Speaker, is the issue they're negotiating right now on student loan forgiveness?
That's not the issue they're negotiating right this second.
Mr. Speaker, Congresswoman Bell was saying today that Republicans turned down $3 trillion in savings offers by the White House, from cutting tax loopholes to raising prescription price negotiations.
I haven't seen it. I know the president wanted to tax people more, which is unusual when you look at the 50-year average of America, where we normally only bring in about 17% of GDP, and right now we're bringing in 19.8, almost 20%, and only 2 times in American history have we ever been where we are now, 1944 and 2000. So I would find it very odd that you want to tax people even more. The real thing you should look at is the expenditures, because what we're doing on a 50-year average, we usually spend 21% of GDP, but because the Democrats took over and they spent that extra $6 trillion, we're spending 24.8% of GDP. So we're spending more than in any history of any time, and we have a larger debt than in any time in history, and we have more money coming in at any time. So it really goes to the fundamental problem that we have. Democrats want to spend more and tax more, and that's just not healthy for America. They brought us inflation. They brought this challenge and made us more dependent upon China. We're trying to change that.
Are you looking at a debt ceiling hike through 2024?
It's all part of what we're discussing.
Last question.
Threshold for when you would be meeting with President Biden next, or a phone call, something that you...
Look, we can meet and talk at any time with the president. We're working with their team consistently, constantly, and so I think at the appropriate time we'll get back together. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.